are the 20 most horrific fouls in football history. But first, this Greek player actually sent his opponent to the dentist. It was during a matchup between PSV and AZ in the Eredivisie, and during the final minutes of the game.
Duel. Mitroglou, de linker elleboog in het gezicht bij Hatzidiakos.
Yeah, this guy just parked his elbow in his opponent's face, destroying 2 of his teeth. Now luckily he got them fixed and could smile again the week after. But that can't be said for Cisse, who didn't break just 1 leg, but 2. He first broke his left in 2004 when he played for Liverpool and went up against Blackburn Rovers.
Trying to brush off McEverly, down they both go.
From that angle, it doesn't look like much happened, but if you look at it from this side, I can't watch that again. Cisse was sidelined for 10 months and tried to make a comeback for Liverpool, but only 2 years later, he was hit with an even worse injury. It was the 7th of June 2006. France went up against China in a friendly game right before the World Cup started. And 10 minutes into the game, as the 24-year-old striker was chasing the ball down the right flank.
아주 살이면서 지금 경기를 하고 있죠. 네. 시세 선수 보세요. 지금 발목을 보세요.
한번 보겠습니다.
체하면서 돌아갔죠? 네. 바로 저런 점이 시세 선수라든가 앙지 선수가 주의를 해야 될 부분인데.
그렇습니다. 자, 시세 선수 상당히 아파하는데요.
네.
Cisse was knocked off balance by a defender, twisted his leg under him, and had to be carried off the field. But luckily, he was back playing only 4 months later and officially joined Marseille. But he isn't the only French international who had a hard time playing for his country.
Wat gebeurde daar precies?
Luckily, Griezmann could continue the game with this headband, but he did end up with stitches and some pretty painful bruises. But what's even more painful is being tackled by your own teammate. And they both ended up injured. Some players are just reckless, man, just like at number 14.
Soleimani aangetikt, overtreding. Kan ook eerst de kaart opleveren. En het is een rode voor Scheiman.
Damn. Soleimani had to undergo surgery on his ankle because of that foul, and his career at Ajax was never the same again. A more recent ankle attack happened on the 22nd of March 2023, Manchester United versus Southampton. With a little over 30 minutes into the first half and 0-0 on the scoreboard, Southampton started pressing and...
Bella Kotchman made a mess of that, and that ball back for Alcaraz was a foul against Casemiro.
First, the ref thought it was a minor tackle, but looking at the VAR, he realized this was some really dirty play. Casemiro got sent straight off and received a 4-match ban. But this next player should be banned for life.
Red card. It's a straight red card.
Dude was looking at the ball the entire time and didn't realize he kicked his boot straight into his opponent's face. Luckily, Mohamed didn't get injured, but Rabiatea had to watch the rest of the game from the dressing room, just like this guy.
Charging in.
Dude sent him flying. And with that, we've made it to the top 10 most horrific fouls in football. Just wait until we get to the top 3. Kicking it off with a tackle so dirty, it almost got Axel Witsel banned from professional football. Back in 2009, young Witsel played for a small club in Belgium. He was part of the country's golden generation together with Hazard, Lukaku, and De Bruyne. His incredible skills didn't go unnoticed, and top clubs from all around Europe were desperate to sign him. He scored 11 goals and gave 3 assists in 41 games that season. It seemed like nothing could go wrong for the 20-year-old midfielder until he went up against Anderlecht and committed this horrible foul.
Dat scheelde niet veel. Zielinski, Witsel.
Witsel broke his opponent's leg and got a straight red card. But instead of showing remorse or apologizing, he protested and refused to leave the field. He claimed it was an accident and that he didn't do it on purpose. But opposing fans didn't want to hear any of that. And for the next few months, Witsel received thousands of death threats. But the real victim in all of this is Marcin Wasilewski, who broke his leg in 2 spots and couldn't play football for over a year. To this day, he still walks around with a massive scar, 9 screws, and a metal plate inside his calf. I'm just glad this next guy doesn't have to walk on crutches.
Tegenspeler.
Sunday leagues can be brutal, especially this one at number 8. least that guy didn't end up in a hospital like this Czech goalkeeper. Rangers were up against Slavia Prague in the 2022 Europa League, but what seemed like a clean victory for the Polish team ended up in disaster.
Good weight on that. Goalkeeper commits. And Roof has fouled the goalkeeper, who's taken a heavy knock there. Kemal Roof saying he didn't see where the goalkeeper was coming. Red card! Straight red card for Kemal Roof.
I can't really show more close-up footage than this because the incident is too shocking. But goalie Andre Kohler ended up with a massive cut in his forehead, suffered a skull injury, wore a mask for weeks, and will have this huge scar across his face for the rest of his life. Talking about scars, my favorite Bayern player of all time played for Fiorentina from 2019 to 2021. And you would think an experienced veteran like Ribery knows how to control himself, right?
A straight red card.
I'm just glad nobody got injured, unlike at number 5.
Intenção nem maldade do Leandro Castan, porque ele não tá nem percebendo que o goleiro tá tão próximo dele. Mas ele atinge com a sola o rosto do goleiro, que tá ali agachado, né? A gente não espera que o rosto do goleiro esteja naquela altura.
Conversando aqui na tela baixa à esquerda com o Rodrigo Guarizo. Ele anula o amarelo e expulsa Castan.
Bruh. That goalie could not finish the game and was left with some crazy marks on his face, but at least he didn't get knocked out in the middle of a game. It was the 1st of October 2023, RKC versus Ajax. The club from Amsterdam has had the worst start ever in the club's history, so without much hope, they entered the field against a relatively easy opponent. But again, they couldn't find the net, and fans even brought banners demanding the board of directors to get out and leave the club. And still, the worst moment of the game was yet to come in the 83rd minute, when striker Brian Brobby accidentally ran into Etienne Vossen.
Fase geraakt.
Medics ran towards him, but he was unconscious for a couple minutes and players quickly formed a group around them so nobody would have to watch this horrible event. Fans held their breath. Teammates were shocked. Robbie felt incredibly guilty, and the game got suspended. Luckily, he quickly regained consciousness and is now recovering. And with that, we made it to the top 3 of the most horrific fouls in football history. And for number 3, we gotta go back to the 23rd of February, 2008, Birmingham versus Arsenal. The Gunners were at the top of the league, and Birmingham was fighting relegation, so there was a lot at stake for both teams. But in the 3rd minute of the game, midfielder Eduardo's career got destroyed.
Space. Tackled by Taylor, who showed studs. He's sent off. 2 minutes gone, and this is very nasty.
Martin Taylor recklessly tackled the 24-year-old forward with his studs up, resulting in a horrifying scene on the pitch that day. The incident was so hard to watch that even on TV, no replays were shown. Arsenal players were fuming, and Wenger couldn't believe what just happened.
Did you have a view on it?
Yes.
And did you think it was a straight red card?
I think this guy should never play football again. What is he doing on the football pitch?
Taylor got sent off and was suspended for 3 games while Eduardo underwent surgery, and a metal plate with 2 pins was inserted to hold his bone together. After that, he never reached his old level again. But at least he can still walk without pain, unlike David Busst, because the English center back that played for Coventry Garden unfortunately holds the title for having suffered the most horrific injury in Premier League history. 8th of April 1996, Manchester United versus Coventry Garden. As Busst tried to reach a ball, he was caught between challenges from United's Brian McClare and Dennis Irwin after a corner.
A horrific injury to the unfortunate Coventry defender David Busst. Nobody's fault, just one of those things. But one of those things that fellow professionals just hate to see. Immediately it was clear the injury was very serious, a shattered leg, and the beginning of a long and we all hope successful road back to recovery for David, who began his convalescence in a Manchester hospital.
I'd just like to thank all the people who've supported me, sent letters, cards, all the people in Ireland, all over the country, all football teams, Coventry people, and Manchester United supporters as well. I mean, they've sent me literally hundreds and hundreds, all wishing me back playing at Old Trafford and told me that what a good reception I'll get there. So I'd just like to say a special thank you to all those people that have sent the cards and everyone in general who sent me.
But unfortunately, he never made it back on the field at Old Trafford, because after 23 surgeries, the doctors told him he would never be able to play professional football again. Now, as terrible as that might be, I've saved the worst and most horrific injury for last. But this one wasn't even caused by a player on the field, or a fan, or a manager. None of that. This next player was hit by lightning.
I'm a former professional football player for FC Nordsjælland. I was living the dream, and then one day in a game, I got struck by lightning during the game, and I was hit so hard that I was dead for 41 minutes. The doctors came and told me that they had to amputate my left leg, and that's when I realized that I'm not living the dream anymore, and the accident had consequences.